Welcome back after the short break, and we are continuing to discuss the problems which we have. How about the investigation? We are talking about the investigation, that it should have been there an investigation before taking children from their biological parents, because it's important every child to grow with their parents. But the investigation, we continue from there.
They are supposed to do an extensive investigation.
Yes.
They're supposed to get to know the family. They're supposed to evaluate the risks.
Yeah.
They're supposed to evaluate also the mechanism that protects the child. They are according to the law, they can only take a child if it's severe problems like alcohol abuse or drug abuse. If the parent has severe mental illness, if they beat the child, or physical or emotional abuse of any sort, or sexual abuse, or if they don't show any interest in the child emotionally, they don't care about the child, they don't give them food, clothes, let them go to school, don't let them get care, and so on. All of these are the reasons they can use to take a child.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, what happens is that an investigation is one meeting, and most of the times, in all of these cases we are involved with, most of the times, 80, 85, 90%, the parents are divorced.
Yeah.
So there is might be a conflict between the parents in some sort of way.
Yes.
And instead of going in and helping with this conflict, trying to make it better for the family and especially for the children,
yes,
they make the conflict higher. They rise up the conflict, and then they have one meeting with the mother, one meeting with the father. Most of the time they never speak to the children.
You don't have any meeting together, that two parents, you sit together and discuss about what's happening.
No, and they don't come home and see the family together and see the situation. And, you know, a meeting like this, like we have now, you don't know anything about me as a mother in actual fact. You don't know how my children are in relationship to me.
Not at all.
You can't know anything about me as a parent. There is no possibility.
No.
And somehow they think they do.
That's wrong.
Yes. And then they contact school, or the for instance a curator or something, maybe, but their questions are towards asking for the problems. They're not looking for solutions, so they're asking only questions. What is it that's difficult in your life?
Things which are negative.
Yes, they only ask the negative questions, and then if you get the negative question, you will say, well, maybe this is a problem, and then they write and write and write, and the problem, and then they make up stuff that never happened, and then they go on their own emotional evaluation of you. So they decide in the first 5 minutes, more or less, do they like you, do they not like you, and then they judge. They judge, yes. And they are not objective.
But that's not fair. Somehow it's not fair at all, because there should have been a very long investigation that, okay, let's put the parents together, let's sit together and see how can we help the child, and how can we help the parents too, to read that maybe they keep their children.
Yes.
But if they don't do such an investigation, that's not fair at all.
No.
It's not fair to the children, it's not fair to the parents too. Then if you go to the court, have you been to the court about this already on your case?
Yes.
They have refused. How about the witnesses, that maybe there must be someone from the school, that this school, the doctor, or this and that, everything they put it aside?
I've been in the court for a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And with me, there were 6 witnesses.
Yeah.
They took away one of them.
Why?
I don't know why.
Okay.
Until now, I don't know why. I know that there must be. If he says yes, then he will must be there. But they took him away. And then the other 5 witnesses, they talk too much.
Okay. Who say that they talk too much?
No, I mean they talked about the issue. They know me.
Uh-huh.
They know the children.
Yeah.
They are not writing anything. Just 2 or 3 sentences, and they are telling that they are not like telling a lies. The witnesses are telling a lies. And the other part has no witnesses. And the papers, they wrote about someone who were a witness, but I have never seen. I have never talked to. I don't know the name of this person.
Is there, what I want to know, is there maybe sometimes some kind of misunderstanding? Because when you, mostly people like we who are foreigners, people who have grown in another country, we have different cultures and value of families, and we have different upbringing from the Swedish upbringing of the children. Does it have something to do with it that they take children sometimes from the foreign parents because maybe we are hard and strict and so on? Or
they took the children from Swedish people, from foreigners, from Muslims, from Christians, from they take a lot of children. They don't care about your ethnicity. They don't care about your religion. They don't care about race. But it's maybe easy for them to take foreign children than Swedish because foreigners don't
understand
like the Swedish people, or they are new in this culture, and they have another background, another mentality, and another norms and customs.
Basically, I think if you are in contact with the social services, that's when you can lose your children, basically.
Okay.
So
a person
if you
who's
are not
new,
in contact with them, you will not lose your children. Unfortunately, when we were doing these demonstrations and when we were doing the hunger strike on Sergels Torg, people came from schools and from child care centers, and they said that communes, the politicians, they're coming now and say you have to do more reports of worry for the children. We want more reports. Why don't you do more reports? We want. So it seems like they want to have reports on children that doesn't even need to be reported. But when you talk about if there is a difference, I think basically the biggest problems is when it's a single parent. Then they use that fact. We have a few that has lost the one of the parents died, and they become really upset and sad, and they turn to the social services for help, and instead of help they take the children because the parent is sad, or the mother get a postpartum depression, and instead of helping her they take the children. Or it could be you're worried about your own child, and you go to the social services and ask them, please help us, I'm worried, and then they take the children. So as soon as you contact them, or if you report a crime to the police, if you have children, then they have to go to the social services, and the social services do an investigation, but they only do investigations. They don't come and help. Because an investigation is a piece of paper, and it doesn't help at all. You know what they should do, and their only responsibility, according to the law, is that they should give all the help and support we need. And they don't, because if you have a problem, because there is no perfect family.
No,
I mean, come on.
no.
There will be problems.
No. Yeah,
Every
absolutely,
family has a problem. Could be whatever.
Yeah.
Then they can come in, and they should, in actual fact, they should be, how can we help you in the best way?
Yeah.
What is this? What would you wish we help you with? And should we come? And they should be more empathic. They should be more interested in helping. But that is an interest they don't have. And unfortunately, we think, and it is actually also true, that the commune, each commune, they have a budget. And help costs money. When they take the children and place them in foster care, they get money straight from the government. So it's outside the budget. So it becomes cheaper for the, whatever that's called, commune. It gets cheaper for them to take the children, even if it's a big cost. So they are not focusing the right way, but we think we have a solution, and there is a place called IVO, Institutionen för vård och omsorg. They should surveil the social services. That's their mission. And we have had a meeting with two of 7 bosses. Anyway, and we have asked them, because what they're doing in the social services is very similar to psychological violence. Because when you get accused of something you never did, and they punish you with, for instance, you're not allowed to see your child if you complain, take away all the visitation rights, make sure that the children never ever return home, and then you get accused time and time again for something you never did. That is psychological violence. Yes. So
it's like torturing someone psychologically.
Yes, it's a psychological torture, and they want you to admit. And if you never admit, they don't think that you have insight in your problems.
No.
So you have to admit that you've done something you never did, and if you don't admit, you will never get your children back, basically. And if you admit, they will say, look, but it's a really catch-22. It's a crazy situation. Anyway, so we have asked the IVO, Institutionen för vård och omsorg, that they, with us, should help each of these families that signed our form in Family United. Each of us should get help, straight help from IVO, and that our children should come home, and we should have help in our home. And it should not be a person that comes there and are looking for faults, because all they do is try to find faults. They don't help. They just sit there and stare at you and write.
That's wrong.
That's not really help, you know.
That's wrong.
That they should come home, that could be, that could protect the child in case there is a problem. But it also will help the family, because we are all suffering from this psychological torture that's been going on. In sometimes some parents is 14 years, some parents is 11 years, 7 years.
That's a long time. So you lose contact with your children. Totally, you lose contact with your children. So the children, they grow up without knowing their parents.
Some of children, they never come back to their parents.
That's sad.
A fifth, they said it in the government when they were presenting the law, the new law. They said 1/5 of these over 30,000 children will never come home, and 1/5 as well will never. These children will never be able to take care of themselves, because they're creating so damaged children, and 90% of the people in prison have been taken by the social services. So the problems with the crime and the gangs, you can actually relate it to the social services.
Okay. Oh, that's very sad. That's very sad. I don't know. You lose words, really, hearing this, that is happening in our modern society. It's very sad, because there are a lot of things. This you cannot expect that that is there, but it's a big problem.
Yes.
It's really a very big problem, and it makes one sad, really, that things are like this, because it's true. When they press these children here and there, they lose the ground, they lose the touch of the family value, they lose the touch of their parents, they lose the touch. You don't know which family they are being placed in, how they are treating them, and how they are taking care of them. So they lose a lot, I think, and that's why most of the children, they start to look for other ways, like joining gangs and so on. That's very sad.
Yes.
It's very sad.
There's also something which is very bad. When they take the children, in many cases they separate the children from each other. Like two brothers, they take two brothers from each other and they separate it. And they say that this is the best for the children.
No,
Where is the
it's
best
never
for
be the
children?
best for the children to separate them, brothers and sisters. That's not nice.
Yeah, they get them out of their culture, from their sometimes religion.
Yeah.
Replaced Muslims by Christians, Christians by Muslims, and
Oh dear.
it's a really children suffering from that. I mean, we are not against the social services if they are following the law, if they are doing right, if the families is in need of help, they get the actually help.
Yeah, I wanted to get there really, because we have also families who have damaged children who have died in the hands of the families. We have this too. Maybe this makes it contributes, as you said from the beginning, that maybe it contributes more for the social services to take the children away, and the government to take the children away. That maybe these children have died in the hands of the family. There are cases where we have seen on TV that they return a child to their biological children. They take the child from the biological children, parents, and then they return the child. And then when they have returned the child to the parents, the child dies. Maybe these are one of the things which makes the government and the social services more harder.
I think that they are using very not often cases to continue this goal, because there are so many more children dying in foster homes. They're committing suicides in the SIS, Statens institutionsstyrelse. It's prison for children, real prison. And they're putting 13-year-olds in this prison, 13-year-olds that might be cutting themselves. And they're isolating them 200 or 365 days a year. They're putting them and they're connecting them to this, when they do... You're not allowed to move, you know, and it's you should look it up. See, it's a prison, and it's 1,000 children there, and it's not the murderers, it's not the rapists, and the children there, they hang themselves, they take overdoses, they become criminals, and it's the same in HVB, and it's also the same in foster homes. They become gang members, they commit suicide, they become drug addicts, and we have names and names and names. We have children written suicide notes. It's because of the social services I have myself.
Seen that really. I have seen on the newspaper. It has been very big, really. This it's not. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. It was a case about the children in the foster home, which we are putting in the newspaper. We are writing about it very much, and on TV about the children who are suffering in these places. But as time is running, I wanted to ask, what can we do as we in the society, we parents and age and everyone out there who is watching this video? What can we do to help?
Yes.
How can we do to move forward, and how can we prevent these things to happen?
Yes.
The society we are living in, because as humans in the society, we have to do something. We have to help.
Yes.
What can we do?
Well, in my opinion, I think there is an obvious solution. If you're not in Sweden, you can contact local authorities and talk about this issue and make people aware, so they can be diplomatic ways to contact our politicians here. Please act differently, start following the law, start auditing these cases, start listening to these families. It's very, very important, because it's thousands and thousands, and it's been going on since 1910. And it's thousands and hundreds of thousands of people affected. So it's been going on for a long time, and it's not a new issue. So that's the first one. If you're from abroad, spread the news, come and look at Family United, come and look and follow this channel, follow every channel that it makes this issue, and share and be a part of this community. Contact the bigger media, make them look at this, because we are crying for help. Help us. We need to save our children. Our children are suffering. They're slowly killing our children.
And parents are suffering too.
Yes, they're crushing families, and they're torturing people in Sweden in 2023. It's not a democratic way to act with people. It's not. This is a terrific, horrific, and horrible
terrible
way. It's terrible in every possible way. And we are citizens, and we have human rights, and they should follow our human rights. They shouldn't lie and shouldn't steal children in the way they do. And the courts should actually do a correct and
listen to the
they should
parents.
Listen, and they should not just follow the social services, which they do in 98%. It's impossible to win in the courts. It's impossible, and it doesn't work. Nothing works. And finally, we would like and hope that people come and demonstrate, or demonstrate in other countries, outside the embassies, wherever you can, to wake up people. Help us. We need the help to save our children. That they should work instead of more help, not use all these enormous amounts of money to take children. Instead of helping families, we could have more school teachers, we could have more people helping in the society too. And we have to, in my opinion, we have to all start caring more for each other in this society.
Absolutely,
The civil society have to come up and see Sweden is not a perfect country. It's not.
There's nowhere where it's perfect. No country is perfect, honestly. There's no, it's like we human beings, we are not perfect, and no country is perfect. We all have our own issues, our problems, and so on. But together we can help the society to be better, and our children to be better.
We have a demonstration 25th of March. And we want that even the countries abroad, that they could be involved and try to solve this issue, because our politicians, our parties and government here in Sweden, they don't want to listen. They don't want to take a conversation with us and to sit down and to talk about the issue. They just try to ignore it or escape away from the problem instead of helping. And we need help from the countries. We need help from the people to spread the message, to join us in our actions and demonstrations, to stand with us. We are in a big need of help. Please help us.
We will try to see that we can talk to some politicians about this issue, so that we can have an interview one day, so that we can discuss about this issue too, if possible. I know they are busy, and it's not so easy to get in touch of them or somewhere to have some discussion about the children issue. because it's growing, and today's society is not easy. Things are getting tougher, and it can be more tougher for the families and the children. If you want to say anything else, otherwise we'll be closing soon. The time is out now. Do you want to say something more?
Yes, I would like to say that the most and human way to act as a politician and as a person with power is to acknowledge that, of course, you all can make mistakes.
Yeah, yes.
And if you admit that we do make mistakes, you correct these mistakes, you get more respect, and people will trust you more than if you put your head in the sand and pretend that, oh, we do this is what the law says, but we say they don't follow the law, they don't do what they're saying that they should do, they don't do this thing.
That's very sad.
And that's the problem. So admit that you are not perfect, you made a mistake, and correct the mistake.
Correct the mistake, yeah, that's nice. And with that, we thank our guests, Sophia and Suleiman from Family United. We'll be putting up their website so that you can contact them. Their contacts, will be putting them up on the video so that you can contact them. And if you want to find more about them, they have a website, they have a YouTube channel, and you can join them on WhatsApp. Thank you for today, and thank you very much, Sophia and Suleiman, for today's conversation. That's really interesting, and I hope each and everyone out there, please listen and try to involve yourself, because this concerns us as citizens here in Sweden and everywhere you are, all over the world. Keep watching the Juliet We Talk Show. I hope you remember to subscribe and take good care of yourself. Thank you for today, and bye for now.
Thank you.
Yes.